Well, we've had a bit of a storm here. Uh, Along with 70,000 of my fellow Mainers, have been without power. Uh, I couldn't get over the synchronicity of speaking about the long nights of darkness and the short days during the winter solstice. And now living through those has been, yes, the night was much, much too long. And the days were too short. I've also been thinking about freedom. And I think that word is kind of confusing somewhat because if we talk about being free, there has to be a from in there, so to speak. You're free from tyranny. You're free from whatever. You're free from debt. You're free from censorship. It doesn't matter. You're free from that. There's a um, sort of a dualistic, if you want, relationship, and that idea of true freedom, and by true freedom I mean non-dualistic freedom, or spontaneity would probably be a better word. The spontaneous action uh, that is without restraints is quite different than being freed from restraints. And this is, again, as we talk about moving into the present, this is very much a part of our journey as we go through life, and also as we come to its end. That spontaneity is the nature of the universe. It's the nature of the here and now. The universe itself is spontaneous. And when you are truly spontaneous, there, even saying that you're one with it is adding one too many. Uh, there's more. It's an end to the this and that, if you want. The I and thou, or whatever dualistic uh, model you want to step into. There's an old saying, and I actually don't know its origin, so if someone runs across it, let me know, that slaves don't dream of freedom. They dream of being masters. And I think that there's a lot of truth in that. It's the biggest thing, I think, that gets in our way, speaking from experience, is our insatiable need for the approval and acknowledgement of others. Acknowledgement being more important than approval. Uh, Even if I have a cat that's constantly seeking attention, and even if he gets yelled at for doing something bad, that's better than being ignored. And that influences his behavior. uh, and that is very much the situation that we find ourselves in. Are we really willing to stand on our own? There's no God above us, no hell below us, no karmic debt being paid off or built up. Any particular noxious evil that you can think of, if you can get away with it in this world, you've gotten away with it. So there you are. Now what are you going to do? Who are you? What are you? What kind of person are you? There's no reward for being honorable, except being honorable. There's no reward for being generous, except to be generous. I mean, it's not a business relationship where you give to get, and that's the trouble I find with most of the religious traditions. is that they want to give you uniforms that come join our group and we'll give you shining robes that glisten in the twilight as you descend into the heavens or whatever. And the thing is that these robes and suits of armor and everything that makes you different from the people around you so that they can acknowledge you are chains. They bind you. And while they may not be fatal, they certainly make your movements awkward because you're carrying too much weight. You know, me, we just have to let go of all this stuff. You know, I have a friend who was a Zen priest, and he got really mad at me when I told him he was a more interesting person when he wasn't wearing his robes than when he was. But he had this real need to teach people how to appreciate him. You know, well, that play hasn't worked out yet, so we don't know how it'll turn out. It's coming up New Year's. Again, another play on the solstice being the real New Year. But New Year's is an interesting time for me. It's even in my youth, it's one that I never really celebrated that much. I didn't like being with the New Year's crowds because I always felt that it was full of people who felt that they should be happy, were determined to be happy and have a good time, and weren't. But they had to act like they were. It's kind of, when I was in the city, it would be very, very depressing just to be around it. I understand that there are a lot of divorces that are decided on in this period of the calendar and acted upon in a few months. So, I mean, New Year's is what it is. You know, as John Lennon says, you can celebrate whatever you want. And if you feel like celebrating, by all means, because you can celebrate whatever you want. But please don't feel that you have to. Or there's something wrong with you if you don't join in the merrymaking with everyone else. You're just you. And it's okay. And by that, I mean it's okay with me because the universe doesn't give a fuck. And that's the indifference of it all is the real key to liberation. Because once you know that, you are truly, truly free. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I don't have anything new to report on my health. I'm still tired most of the time. I do have something to tell you. Yes, so this is something I want to send out. It's, I guess, maybe a shorter setup, but our car got frozen in during the ice storm, and the wheels were stuck in 2 inches of ice, and our battery went dead. But 2 days before that, 2 of our dearest friends got together and bought us membership in the AAA, figuring that we might need it this winter. And boy, AAA came and got us right out. And so you guys, you know who you are. I can't tell you how grateful we were and just how useful your gift was, right? And thank you. So for the rest of you, be kind to yourselves. I'll see you next year, and forward, I guess.